And go. So if you're a career Boy Scout or Girl Scout, honestly, I hesitate to say that because my wife was a Girl Scout.
Career
Girl Scout. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said that.
Career till what age?
Nothing. Never mind. I don't. Man, she'll be so mad that I told you.
It's public information.
Well, they're not going to tell her, but you might.
They should.
Nobody.
Should.
Everybody. This stays between us.
I can't wait to tell her.
Oh God, please don't. But if you're a career, if you're
what age?
Oh, I'm talking.
No.
I'm not going into specifics on that.
Then I will not record the show then.
Well, that's just rude because we could really be stumbling. I mean, I'm not saying what I'm about to get into is like groundbreaking or anything, but it's a nice little start for the show. You know, a good little way to get in. Matthew, come on. Well, I can't say because then she'll be so mad and she'll be like, "You said that on your podcast?" And I'm like, I guess I did.
Well, I'm gonna guess numbers and you blink.
I'm not gonna say
twice.
anything. I can't. If I even give it away, Emily, do not clip this.
Emily, if you don't,
I know
clip
there's nothing here to clip, but don't clip it.
This is
not worth clipping.
This is fraudulent podcast. All right, tell your fucking stupid story.
This is not a stupid.
It wouldn't have been stupid if you just were honest.
If you're a career, which I was, I haven't said anything wrong.
You're
I haven't
hiding
said anything
information.
in truth.
You're hiding information.
I'm not hiding it. I'm just refusing to put it out there. Okay.
There's not. Listen, the difference between lying and not telling the whole truth is not much of a difference at all. I think it still puts you in the wrong, but that's fine.
Fifth Amendment. If
that's how you want to betray or
Fifth Amendment portray
your character to the listeners, that's fine.
The listeners,
if you're comfortable doing that, that's fine.
The listeners,
okay, continue then. You're comfortable, yeah, that's fine.
If you're like, if you're I think the top is like Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I think
Eagle Scout is like the black belt of Boy Scouts. It's like the peak. And I think so if you get that when you're a senior in high school, like that is what was our point about this? Oh, I remember. Cuz you were talking about the Scouts. My point being, if you're a lifer, if you're a Boy Scout lifer, getting molested is like the least of your worries. Like, that's best case scenario. Because life out there, it's not going to be easy for you. And some guys pull it off. Like, if you look up, like, famous Eagle Scouts, I bet, like, Bill Clinton was an Eagle Scout or some shit like that. But Godspeed. More power to you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I don't understand, I guess, how the Boy Scouts work. You get badges and that ranks you up. What do you get badges for? For community service?
You can get a community service badge. You can get a Lord's Work badge. You sell the most popcorn. You get a badge for that. You learn how to tie, like, the most knots.
You get
That's a badge.
Badges.
You get a knot badge.
What about soapbox derbies?
Oh, that's a badge.
That's a badge. Just for participate? Is it a participation badge?
I think there's various badges. You might get a participation badge, and then if you place in like the top
in a
three.
Soapbox derby, did we not?
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't say I competed, but I did have a car in the running. Went out first round, if I'm not mistaken.
Those?
See, it's the memories are confusing because remember in 8th grade we made
I'm not talking about that. Those are mousetrap cars.
In my mind, they get confused. Also, not a mousetrap car. I'm talking about the CO2 ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I showed up for that part of the...
Mine was awesome because, let me get this out first. CO2 cars in shop class in 8th grade. You get a block of wood, you put wheels on it,
and
you carve it up.
You can drill
I'm getting there.
CO2
You make
hole.
it into a car.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want, and then we'd race them. I made my wood block into the shape of a Converse high top shoe.
That's not very aerodynamic, is it?
No, but it looked awesome.
So
I think it went pretty well. No, I didn't win.
I don't think
it was too heavy, but it did good. And it looks
if
cool.
If my memory serves me correct, I was like gone for a week when we were supposed to race our CO2 cars. I think I made one. I don't think it ever hit the track.
This does sound familiar. I don't know
but
why.
I do remember the mousetrap cars.
Yeah, with the CD wheels.
Yes.
Forgot about
and
that.
I had a revolutionary find on my mousetrap car.
I'm going to see if I can pull a picture when you keep going.
Balloons on the wheels. Popped balloons.
Wait. So not even just like uninflated balloons, like balloons that have been blown up and then popped?
You have to blow them up to stretch them out, and then you put them around the wheel, and then you cut them. And so they're tight to the wheel, so then you have rubber wheels. So you get traction.
And that worked for you?
I remember that being the key to my mousetrap car.
That's cool. This image is just loading. It'll take about 40 minutes.
Yeah. Mousetrap car.
Yeah. Oh, they make them out of Amazon boxes now. That's cool.
That seems like it makes sense. But yeah, that on the right there, on the right, yep.
Yeah.
That's as standard as it comes. Mousetrap car.
Basic mousetrap car kit.
Yeah.
Stuart Little riding around in one of those.
Oh, see, look, they got balloons on the wheels.
Oh, I see it. Wow, that's cool. Very innovative. Very nice.
Balloons on the wheels, key to success for all those out there that need to win a mousetrap car race.
When I look back on my time in the public education system, that was one of my favorite classes.
Shop class?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I had like a serious...
Soldering. Loved to solder.
Dude.
Solder day in and day out.
I didn't mind soldering.
Gotta love it.
I do feel like, though, they were very concerned about fingers getting chopped off.
Well, the shop teacher that I had, you had the other one, I think. But the one I had...
Mr. White.
That's the one you had?
I think so.
That's the one I had. Maybe...
No, I was across the hall. A guy, shorter guy, glasses.
Oh, okay.
Mr. something.
You don't have
Mr.
to say his,
I don't know what it is.
Name. I kind of wish you didn't say the other guy's name. Because,
why?
Well, because he was missing some fingers, and we would all go around and be like, "Hey, Mr. High Five," and we'd hold our like a finger like that, and then we'd high five each other. We never did it.
I thought you did it to him. Oh, you did it.
No,
to
we would say, "Hey, Mr. High Five," and then, you're here. Put your hand like this.
And then you'd high five.
And then you'd high five.
I understand.
You'd do something like that.
You'd break your finger doing that. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
But they were always like, dude, you're gonna fucking lose at least shoulder down.
Well, you got to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, man. But I saw stuff all the time now.
Well, now
I'm reckless.
Oh, good.
I don't care at all.
Oh, that's good. Oh, great.
It's pretty easy to zoom.
You got it. Yeah, I know, man. But
although
you can't
you have a rip lumber. You have a rip wood.
No. What do you mean?
On a table saw.
Rip it? Like tear it accidentally?
No, like a table saw. Like if you
I've cut wood on a table saw. Oh, that's what
you're talking about a bevel saw, like a chop saw.
That is what I'm calling. That is what I'm
a
talking
table
about.
saw is like the table. Like if this was a table and there was a saw blade that like sticks out a little bit here and it spins, and you cut wood like long ways, like down the middle. It's called ripping wood.
Oh,
you ever ripped wood?
No.
Ripping wood is a little bit sketchy
because it's just one big blade.
Well, it's not sketchy if you got two people.
Okay.
It's easy if you got two people. But when you got one person, the thing that's sketchy about it is, like if you're only trying to rip like an eighth of an inch off of a board, you know what I mean? Like there's only this much room between the saw, and you can't just push from one side because you got to push the ripped piece through too, or else it'll kick back at you at like upwards of like 100 miles an hour because the saw's spinning that fast, and it'll shoot back. So, like, a lot of times people will have, like, tools, like a pusher kind of to keep their hand away from it, and then they can push them. Because if you push only on the one edge, even if the other piece is, like, going through, it'll, like, not be flat to the edge, and then it'll cause it to kick back at you. And I got kicked back at once. It fucking hurt like hell.
Oh, I bet. Holy
it was like
shit.
a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. So it was a long strip, kicked back at me and hit me straight in the ribs.
Oh.
People probably die like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
But even a chop saw or bevel saw, like they'll bounce if you're not like careful. Like it'll bounce up.
Start using those bumble saws. You got to be careful.
Yeah, bumbles do bounce. But
actually,
like in that class, like the belt sanders, they were like,
belt sander.
Good luck on the belt sander. You're gonna be in the hospital later. And it's like, dude, I fucking just belt sanders. You just push. I just remember pushing stuff. Like I would just push stuff for fun against the belt sander and watch it disintegrate. That's good old fashioned fun.
It's true.
But they were like, dude, that's belt sanders are worse than Al Qaeda. Like, they're dangerous.
Be lucky. Be lucky if ISIS gets a hold of you.
Yeah.
As long as they don't have a belt sander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually have a scar between a couple of my ribs right here because...
When you tried to remove them on your own so you could...
Yeah, so I could...
Perform fellatio.
Yeah. On Marilyn Manson. I had to remove my ribs so I could blow Marilyn Manson. You know, that guy had his own ribs removed so he could suck Marilyn Manson's dick.
Inappropriate.
Emily flagged that part of the podcast as inappropriate. Don't cut it out. Just make sure people know.
Yeah.
Not to let their kids listen to that part.
2 clips, Emily. First one, talk about
Don't do
the
that.
Scouts.
Yeah, talk about the Scouts. They need somebody to take them down a peg. No, forget it. Oh, yeah, my scar. Because we also made, like, rockets. You remember that?
Nah.
I don't really remember it either. But we made rockets, and we were, like, supposed to be putting them back one time or something. We had finished them. Anyways, my friend was like, hey, put my rocket back for me. But he was on the other side of the room. And I was like, throw it like a football. And I caught it, of course. Pulled it in perfectly. But it got me. Cut me.
The side of the rocket.
Scar. A real scar right there. I got hit by a rocket.
Was it just like a scratch, though?
Yeah.
That scarred?
Well, it's like, I mean, I was bleeding. But, yeah, it was like a scratch.
But you weren't leaking. It wasn't like... Yeah, it was a scratch.
I'm surprised that there's a scar there. Yeah. For sure.
No, that's what I was implying, that your skin is a little bit soft.
My skin is I have practically like an old person's skin. Like, you know how old people's hands are just like, I mean, they'll just fall apart.
And they're just,
like, they're so
much arthritis, like, so many veins. You know what? That's a good point.
The doctor is going to prescribe me oven mitts to wear when I hit like 55.
People say that that, like, you know, it's hard to get, like, nurses will be like, it's hard to find old people's veins or whatever. Yeah. I disagree, because I can fucking see all of them all the time on old people. Like, they're visible.
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, some of those tracks might not even run. Some of those trains might have left the station. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's hard because it's like
that railroad's
it's
been
so
closed
fragile.
For 40 years.
And I don't like thinking about trying to give an old person
dust. You're going to draw some blood from an old person. Just dust in the syringe. Yeah,
there's air coming out of there. It's been locked in.
The bends. You got the bends.
You got the bends. Yeah. Just from
you got air in them veins.
From getting out of your toilet shower, you got the bends.
Hey, high pressure.
Yeah, a lot of those shower heads, man.
Yeah,
they know how to do it. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, of course.
Did you like a thing for it, or did you get a group together?
No,
just watching Super Bowl.
just solo dolo. Just watched it at the house. Yeah, it was the Super Bowl. It's pretty boring.
Any good
commercials?
Yeah.
No, I don't. There's not one memorable commercial.
I watched a video because I didn't watch Super Bowl, but I
watched.
What were you
doing? Out of curiosity.
My wife and I were just hanging out at home. And I'm like, are we gonna watch Super Bowl? Because I just feel so heartbroken from the Bills stuff. I don't want to talk about it, but I was like, it's not gonna be. And again, like, I'm getting updates while the game's going. Like, I know Patrick Mahomes is getting sacked a ton, but even seeing that wouldn't satiate. Like, that wouldn't make me feel better. So we watched Star Wars.
Okay,
which was awesome.
This is a good. I have probably an unpopular opinion for the people of Buffalo, because I feel like there was a lot of Buffalo people that were like, "Oh, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Like, we got to get back at the NFL." Like, I'll tell you what. Not me. I'm watching the Super Bowl always. Like, I'm just gonna watch the Super Bowl. It's the last football game of the season.
Right.
Now you don't get that for another however many months. Like, it's the Super Bowl. You're gonna watch the Super Bowl. Here's the thing. When the Bills were bad in the drought era, people watch Super Bowl parties all the time. Squares. Everyone's buying squares.
Yeah.
And now that they're good, you're not going to watch it just because they're not there. Seems dumb. And also, everybody else in the world is still watching it. Like, they're still watching it.
No, I mean, there was all kinds of stuff going on, like boycott the Super Bowl and things like that. But it was still the highest viewed Super Bowl they've ever had.
So you didn't watch the halftime show?
No, I didn't. And I tried. So I watched just like a 20-minute highlight video, and then I watched a video that was like, here are the best 5 commercials from the Super Bowl if you missed them or something. But I did not watch anything of the halftime show.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it sucked, and here's why. I've seen a lot of all right. I'm gonna a little bit off the rails here. There were some parts of it that I thought were funny. Like I didn't know Serena Williams was Drake's ex-girlfriend.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Serena Williams was out there just dancing.
Yeah.
So I think that's funny. And then also they said that I thought it was Squid Games themed. I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah.
It turns out it was PlayStation themed.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a PlayStation because Drake's record label's under Sony. And like there was all these tie-ins because the whole like Drake and Kendrick thing and the song. And like I'm not a huge Kendrick Lamar fan, but like the only song he sang that I ever heard before in my life was the last one. And it's that, I don't know what it's called. Mustard, which is the most electric part of any song ever. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
dude, they got this guy. I think he's like a DJ. He's just something or like a producer.
Yeah.
And his name's like, maybe he's DJ. His name might be DJ Mustard. And I guess in songs he just yells or like he'll say like, you ever heard mustard on the beat?
No.
I think that's like one.
One of his things. I've never heard somebody say that on a song, but I've heard
people say it.
People say that.
Yeah, so I think I'm. This is totally speculative. I might be sounding.
That I don't think they're.
No,
connected.
I think it is. Emily.
About the guy's name.
Mustard.
I think that's
I think it's DJ Mustard. But dude, in that song, there's one part where in the middle of it, like the beat kind of changes, and he just goes, "Mustard!" Like, and then that's just like.
That's cool.
Song continues.
Yeah.
And it's fucking electric. It fires me up every time I hear it. And he was there, and he hit he actually hit 2 mustards. There might be 2 mustards in the song, and maybe I just don't know. I got to look him up. I think his name's DJ Mustard.
I'll try to look it
up.
Yeah,
DJ Mustard right here.
Because I want to get eyes on this guy.
No, I got you right here. DJ Mustard.
Aw.
Yeah.
Dude, he looks a little bit like, I mean, that picture.
He had such a good mustard at the Super Bowl, so that was electric. But, dude, he just, like, he played not good music. And there was, like, some speculation that it was because the songs that he played were all from, like, his newer albums because it's songs that he owns, not that, like, his previous record label owned or whatever. But, which, okay, I guess that's whatever. But, the Super Bowl halftime in general, like for a Super Bowl halftime, I did not think it was very good because it was not entertaining. No offense to Kendrick Lamar, like, and I feel like people will like. I feel like there's a lot of people that like his music, so I get that. And but like a lot of the songs he did were just like, I don't know. I didn't know him, and they weren't like, I don't know.
No,
Samuel L. Jackson was there.
Dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see a photo of
that
him
part
there.
Was awesome. Like,
yeah, I
Which
also didn't really understand.
I think it was supposed to be like they were kind of like doing like a movie reference thing where he's kind of like narrating like someone like, oh, look at these like hoodlums, whatever, Kendrick and all your dancers. But it was also, you know, kind of like a hey Donald Trump thing sort of because he was there.
I saw a bunch of stuff though too because then people were and again. I'm talking out of my ass here. I don't know anything about the Drake Kendrick Lamar beef, but I guess when it started in the original diss track that Drake came at Kendrick, he has a line that's something like every time you open your mouth, people think you deserve a Grammy.
Yeah, sounds like a real diss.
Well, like joking that like not joking, but saying like
no, I hear you.
Don't people just like overhype you and then
I get it.
And then the line after that something like where your uncle at? Like I got to talk to him or something like that, which I did not know until this. So people, because Samuel L. Jackson was dressed up as Uncle Sam, like that's who he was. So people were saying like also like that was like a tie-in, and I'm like I don't care. Yeah. I want to see entertainment. Like I liked in L.A. when they had all that those was really people, cool. When like Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, like they were all Rihanna I think showed up. Eminem was there. They were all going crazy. Also, like a good old-fashioned like 90s, early 2000s rock band, that's who should be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Imagine a Nickelback Super Bowl halftime show. Electric.
It'd be big.
I know people are all in the Creed, like they're all bringing up the Creed, you know,
yeah.
halftime performance from the Thanksgiving game or whatever, but like something that universally not even that people know the music, but it'll get the people going. Yeah. Like Kendrick was like slow songs, and he's rapping and he's doing his thing. I get that. I'm sure a lot of people liked it. I wasn't a fan. I think like there's a lot. Also, I don't really. Nah.
Passing on that one.
Yeah. Like I agree with Emily. Like I do think there was like in some sense like a political underlying. I don't really want to watch politics in my Super Bowl halftime show. Like I get that's a huge platform to make like a political statement, but I want some entertainment there.
Well, you just don't want to mix too many messages. I mean, you got beef with Drake, and then you also got to shout out something about this and that thing. That's just too much stuff going on.
There's also like a specific group that is like the not like Warner. It's something I never heard of, but they're like partnered with the Super Bowl. So like that's why the last few years it's been mostly rap artists.
It's Jay-Z.
But it's like, what was the name of like the corporation that is like the sponsor for the whole thing? And that's why like it's been mostly rap artists, because that's like who this group, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like whoever it is that partners with the Super Bowl, like the last decade or something, has been like mostly represented by rap artists.
I feel like it's the Pepsi's halftime show, isn't it?
This year it was Jeep.
Oh yeah, it was Jeep.
No kidding. Yeah. Good for Jeep.
But it like it was some
the Pepsi
label. I don't know if it was like a record label, but like something like that, like the equivalent of like know.
I don't know.
Of course, somebody's.
I don't know the whole background from it, but I believe that Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, like hired Jay-Z as a consultant to like, hey, you run the Super Bowl, like you do this thing.
Sure.
And also like going all the way back to when it first got announced, a lot of people wanted Lil Wayne to do it because he's from New Orleans. And I do think that also would have been better because I feel like his music's a little bit more like upbeat. And Kendrick has songs like that, but again, he didn't sing them. And whether that's because he doesn't own them or he wanted to, there was a reason for his set list and some messaging or whatever it may be. I just wanted some entertainment. So I wasn't saying, that last sip of Celsius be hitting. I'm good. I've been having a problem lately where I don't know why, but are you good?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm just stretching.
Did that seem like, Emily, you saw that? That didn't seem like a guy who was good, right?
You don't seem good.
No, I'm good.
All the undissolved Celsius powder just straight to the dome.
Folks, I've just been handed this very important special bulletin. Right now, Two in the Cooler listeners can get free delivery on the first order of $10 or more when they use Instacart. All you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this episode description. And let me tell you something, guys. Now, me, I'll admit I was ignorant. I was being a bit ignorant because I thought that Instacart was just for groceries. But it turns out when you use Instacart, you can get more than just groceries. You can also get some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. I'll tell you what, I've become a bit addicted to getting things delivered to my house. I absolutely love it. I was making meatballs for my wife and I for dinner the other day. And I'm like, okay, I got everything for meatballs, but fuck, no breadcrumbs. I need breadcrumbs. Bing, bang, boom. You go on the phone, say, hey, give me some breadcrumbs. Next thing you know, there's breadcrumbs at my front door. This is the kind of thing. I mean, we're living in the future, folks, okay? And if you don't want to be stuck living in the past, then you better get your ass on Instacart. Like I said, right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. Just hit the link in that episode, in this episode description to get yourself that deal. Once again, start making things a little easier on yourself and start using Instacart today. Folks, if you want to do something nice for yourself and something that helps support the show, but mostly for you, I'm worried about you. Okay, that's the thing I want to get across here. Is you can check out, the good news is you can check out all the great merch we've got over at stackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. T-shirts, mugs, bucket hats, hoodies, long sleeves, pint glasses, notebooks, slides. There's more stuff. I try to list everything whenever we do this ad. I'm like, what do we have in the store? What are they? And it's hard to remember everything because there's just so much. But what you'd never forget is the quality. of these products. And let me tell you something, it's high quality, folks. All right, this is not that garbage Gildan brand that you get from like other organizations or podcasts. We've all had that thing, you know, like fun runs is the one thing that comes to mind for me. Like you do a fun run when you're a kid. It's like, oh, they're selling T-shirts for the event. You're like, well, I got to get a T-shirt, $5, boom, no problem. And then it fits like a cardboard box. It feels disgusting. You want to wear it. You want to support the cause, or you know, you're excited to share if there's something that you're a fan of, whatever. But the shirt just doesn't fit, and it shrinks. It's so bad. Not with us, baby. Okay, over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com, you get top quality, folks. All right, especially T-shirts. I'm talking tri-blend material. That's Target quality material, folks. Hit the link in this episode description. Go check it out. Get yourself something nice. Or again, take a look for yourself at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. And if you're interested in advertising on this show, you can email us. Reach out at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Podcast advertising, folks, it's here to stay. It's left out of a mark for itself. It's created a fine little niche here along the sides of, TV commercials or newsprint ads, whatever. Radio commercials, certainly, obviously. And you can see that when companies like McDonald's and State Farm, especially, State Farm's like one of the NFL's biggest advertisers, and now they're doing spots on podcasts. It's a big deal. It's cool to see companies of that size move into the podcasting, sphere. The problem is there hasn't been really any room for smaller or even local businesses to get in on that action, but that's what we're here for, and that's what we're all about. So again, if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits to podcast advertising, reach out to us. Hit us up at snackspotsports@gmail.com.
I've been having a problem where whenever I get out of my truck and I go to lock it, I accidentally hit the start button, and then I start my truck again.
That's funny.
And I've done it so many times recently, and you can't just you got to get back in it to turn it off, because you got to put your foot on the brake.
Yeah.
And you got to turn it, and then you got to start it, and then you got to stop it again. So I'm at the point where I've just been letting it ride.
It only runs for like
20
minutes.
Yeah. But what time did I get? When I walked in, my car was running. Because I got out and I went to click lock and I accidentally clicked start, and then it's
out of your hands. It's
I'm not going. I'm not turning around and getting back in that puppy. It's cold outside. Just let it run. So I've just been burning fossil fuels, I guess, for no reason, killing the ozone.
It's all right.
Contributing to global warming, just out of laziness.
Yeah. That's how it's done. That's how it started.
You got a car starter?
Fuck yeah, that's the best.
Well, that's the thing, is I start my car every time I get in it. Even if I'm like when I leave here, for example, my car won't start from inside these walls. Sometimes it will. My car can start from far distances, but it's a very visual start button. It's got to have a direct line of sight to my truck.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the infrared waves. I don't know if it's the waves or whatever it is. But so if I walk out here and my truck is 6 to 7 parking spots, it's not far, I'll still start it. That extra 10 to 12 seconds could make the difference between
Big time, dude. I always start my car, but my car starter, it'll get you. I'll be in a different state, and that bad boy could start.
The app, the car starting apps have changed the game. I'm not lucky enough to have one, but everybody's got apps now on their new cars.
I've seen apps.
Dude, they'll start those cars from miles away. The other day, our father and I were leaving the Sabres game, and he started his car from inside KeyBank Center. And that's when you need it, because it's a walk.
Yeah.
And you're cold by the time you get to the car. You need that puppy cranking out heat by the time you get in there.
I was just thinking about when that place was called the HSBC Arena.
It was First Niagara Center before it was KeyBank.
I know.
It was HSBC First Niagara Center, KeyBank. I bet you 2000.
I don't know why I was thinking that.
11.
Must have been thinking about something we saw there. So we saw some cool things there. I remember seeing Toy Story on Ice there when we were really little.
Do you know the Earl of Bud? You don't know who the Earl of Bud is.
No, I guess not.
All right, dude.
Did you work with DJ Mustard?
I fucking nailed it. HSBC Arena from 2000 to 2011. First Niagara Bank from 2011 to 2016. But the only reason it changed is because KeyBank bought First Niagara Bank.
Yeah.
I nailed it.
Well done.
I said 2011.
Way to go. 2011, heck of a year.
Earl of Bud was a guy.
He was a guy?
Yeah.
Not a guy anymore?
No. A couple years ago, they rolled him out. And he was still kicking. He was a guy who, when I don't know if it started with the. I don't actually know his origin story, but he did it for the Bisons, and they did it for the Sabres every once in a blue moon.
Is that the.
That wore the suit that danced.
That's not what I'm thinking of. I've never heard of this guy.
Dude, I'll show you the Earl of Bud. He was an electric factory.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
look him up. Look him up on the computer because there'll be a video of him doing his dance, and it's great. Earl of Bud. He would, and I believe his song of choice was Tequila. I could be making the song choice part up, but
did he do the?
And why'd you click videos? Let see you click videos before.
All right. I'm working on it.
And look at images first.
Okay.
Get a visual on the Earl of Bud.
You said you wanted. You said you
I
wanted
know,
a video.
But get a video on the Earl of Bud first.
Bud
no, click images.
I'm going, Matthew. I'm not gonna do the wrong thing. Probably.
That's all you ever do. But he was a guy, and he would do it at Bandits game or Bison's games on the dugout. Oh yeah, so see, he worked. So he must have worked for him, and then he would wear the suit, and he would do the dance.
They got him his own thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's Earl Bud action figures, bobbleheads, the whole nine. And then he did that at the Sabres game. Yeah. And then when the Sabres did their 50th anniversary season, one game they brought out the Earl of Bud.
No kidding.
And he hit the dance. Look how old he is.
Wow.
And he hit it. So I don't know if he's still I hope he's still alive. I think it would be more public information. See if you can find now let's go to videos.
I think I saw one that said it was from 1988.
Yeah, no, Earl of Bud kicked for a while, from my understanding. Yeah, that was Earl of Bud triplet. No. Scroll. Yeah, go last game at the odd, Earl of Bud. I think this one's an electric factory.
Okay.
He would because he would do it on the dugout, like on top of the dugout.
Yeah,
so he'd be like riding rails. Yeah, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's the dance.
That's Rick Jeanneret, too.
Wow, he sounds young.
He is. It's 1988.
I mean, but that's still crazy. Like, he always sounds so old.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's Pee Wee Herman.
That's the Earl of Bud. He's a goddamn legend. And look, and he was old in that video, too. And the people were going ballistic. That was the last game I ever played in the auditorium.
That's crazy. Where was that place?
Oh, it was downtown.
That's one thing that I have been, I guess more aware of lately is, like, the real corporatization of, like, stadiums and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that was the odd.
I know.
Yeah.
You had the odd. You had Boston Gardens.
Yeah.
Places like that.
Well, it's TD Gardens now.
Now it's TD Gardens.
But they still call it the Garden.
Yeah, I know. But I don't even know if it's in the same location as the original. I don't think it is. I think they tore down the old one.
Well, you usually can't build a stadium in the exact same location right away.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But, they'll build it, across the street a lot of times. Or
right, like Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Remember when we got to go to Yankee Stadium? The original Yankee Stadium?
Oh, yeah. I was just at the new one. It's pretty cool.
I've never been to the new one.
Yeah. They have, what
was that, 2011?
Yeah, it was the last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. That was pretty cool.
They opened the new one.
Was it really? I was only saying 2011 because that's what you were.
No, I'm like 97% positive.
Heck of a year, 2011. Heck of a year.
The new Yankee Stadium opened in.
Also, the year DC Comics came out with their new 52 era, which was big news at the time. So heck of a year.
Oh no, I was way off.
Oh shit. It was earlier?
2008.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I remember being young. 12 Nathan's Hot Dogs that day.
2009 is when 2009. April 2nd. 2009 was the official opening day of the new Yankee Stadium. And the crack of the bat.
I'm definitely getting under the weather. I'm getting sick.
What are we gonna do, Andy? What do we gotta do? We gotta get in the
I gotta get some
You taking your vitamin
C? I've been taking it. I took it to. I actually.
Do you take it regularly?
In my car, I keep vitamin D, and then like a multivitamin.
Is there C in that multi?
Probably. You can't have a. Can you imagine?
Would you put
a multivitamin?
Not a lot of multis have C.
That's messed up.
I don't actually know if that's true, but a lot of people take a multi and a C.
Well, sure, you gotta get a lot of C.
There's not C in multi.
But I take the D because please isolate that. Yeah. But I take the D because of the sun and my one-man army battle against the sun.
Yeah. You can't be in it.
No.
So you have to consume it via vitamin form.
Yes, I still Matthew, I mean,
it's like
put yourself in my position. Your mortal enemy is completely in control of one thing that you really need. Oh yeah, everybody loves him so much.
Except for the guy from Benchwarmers.
Yeah. Terry or something. Nick Swartzen.
Maybe. Yeah, Nick Swartzen.
Good movie. Oh no, every movie really kind of like slipped by. And there's parts of it like it's not the funniest movie in the world.
I think it's pretty popular in like the 25, like current 25 to 35.
I think it got some like TV play.
I think it was popular when it came out for like people of that age. Like I think older people probably didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
And like people now, if they watched it, like the younger generation probably wouldn't find the humor in it. But people that were in that sweet spot when it came out,
there must be steroids in macaroni. Like that's funny.
Yeah,
that's gonna get people laugh every
time.
And
the fact that it's like a little fat, curly-haired rich kid, who just starts a whole ass. They build a whole ass fucking stadium.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And they got the peanut butter castle.
Peanut butter
plot
castle.
line.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
all that stuff is so great.
Yeah,
yeah.
Stay away. Yeah, that's classic. And then the guy steps on his hand, and then he can't play, but then he doesn't play because he wants to give back to the kids. And then the bad team lets him win.
Yeah, right.
Which, like,
would
never happen in real life, dude. That team would shit. Like, because obviously they let them win, but, like, that team would never let them
I just don't think you can have a movie where the whole plot is like, hey, we're losers, but we're not going to take it anymore. We're actually going to carve out a name. The losers are doing their own thing, but then at the end have their victory dependent on a bully, like, changing his mind. You can't do that. It doesn't make any sense.
And also,
the Kids Against Air Bud didn't let that dog get,
I'm sure
the winning
this
basket.
Comes up. This is a great question. I'm sure this comes up in the movie.
In Air Bud?
No.
In Benchwarmers?
In Benchwarmers. But what is the loophole in the rules of Little League that Rob Schneider finds that allows him to play against children all the time and just hit dingers all the time? Like, just destroy children.
It's a good question. I don't remember. Because obviously one of the most memorable parts of that movie is when the other team has that guy come in. And he said, with his
15.
I'm 12.
I am 12, yeah. And he gets
$10. So, like, why is that? Yeah, so what's the deal with that guy? It's obviously illegal for him to play.
So
but
why
these guys,
yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, just because they're small.
But the one guy, that was my first thought, was like, okay, well, Rob Schneider, David Spade, maybe there's a height thing. But the other guy, John Heater, is tall.
He's bad at the sport, though.
He's so funny in that movie, though. He does great. He does a great job in that movie.
When the bug dies in his glove, when it smushes the bug.
That's funny too.
Classic scene.
Should we do the Who Would Win?
Yeah, we'll do one more thing, and then we'll do Who Would Win the Week, and then we'll get you laid down and tucked in, and we'll get you some
somebody
chicken.
put a.
You need some chicken noodle soup?
Just put a rag.
Do you need
over
some
my
chicken
head.
noodle soup?
No, maybe I'll go buy some. I don't have, but if you need some, you should get some. I might run to town.
I've watched that movie we were talking about.
Den of
kind
Thieves
of.
2?
No. I have another kind of. I watched the movie.
Ah, jeez.
That Netflix movie about the end of the world that we were talking about, and you said, what's it called?
Oh, wait. Now I'm not sure. The one with Ethan Hawke?
Yes.
Yeah, what the fuck is the name of that? Came out last year. Maybe even the year before.
No.
It's not as recent as one might think.
It's recent.
Yeah, I know it's recent, but it didn't come out like a couple months ago. Like, I remember when it was on the homepage of Netflix.
It is right now. Ethan Hawke.
But it was like their highlighted thing. What is that called? It's like,
Leave the World Behind. 2023. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, of course.
You haven't seen it though, right? Because
No.
didn't you say let me know how it is when I watch it?
Yeah.
I don't know because I didn't finish it because it wasn't very good.
Well, would you though? Because when it was highlighted on Netflix and they'd start to play the little whatever, you couldn't really tell what was happening.
That's the problem with the movie. You know what? If I would have been able to finish it, the ending might really tie it all together. But there is such a lack.
You can't. But you haven't seen it. But
Andy.
Movie like that, a movie like this,
I know.
It sounds like the whole point is to get to the end. So how are you?
The problem is there's such a lack of information during the movie.
Yeah.
So can I spoil it? Well, I don't know the ending, so I guess it's not really a spoiler. But what happens is Ethan Hawke's family rents an Airbnb in like the, outside in New York City, but like in a more rural area to get like away for a week because work's been stressful and the whole nine. So they go there, and Ethan Hawke's character is a weird dude in the movie. That's point number one. So they go there, and then
they go where?
They go to the Airbnb, and it's by the beach. There's a beach.
Yeah.
And there's a pool, and there's woods, and there's not a lot of neighbors. It's
Airbnb.
secluded.
Why would you stay at a hotel?
Yeah. So the first night there, it starts with like their phones not working. That's
of course. That's the
so
first
their
sign.
phones aren't working.
Grid's going down.
Their cell phones aren't working. And then like knock at the door in the middle of the night kind of thing. And it's a guy and his daughter.
Oh no.
And they're like, yeah, this is our house. And they're like, okay. And they're like, sorry to barge in. And the whole thing is like there's a blackout in the city. This is what they're telling
Ethan Hawke's family.
Yes. They're saying there's a blackout in the city. We were on our way back and we heard there was a blackout. We figured we would come here because we know like the city gets crazy during a blackout. We didn't want to try to drive through it. It would have been gridlock, blah, blah. And they're like, okay. They're like, we can give you, half your money back if like we can stay the night here. Like we'll sleep in the in-law suite, like in the basement, just to like be here for the night. Like sorry to inconvenience you. And the mom doesn't like it, but Ethan Hawke, he's had a couple glasses of wine and he's like, fuck it, it's your house. Like I don't care. Blah blah. They're gonna give us half our money back. So then they wake up and their phones still don't work. And obviously the guy who owns the house is him and his family. Him and his daughter. They know something like because then it's like okay, phones still don't work. TV channels don't work. No radios work. There's like weird shit going on, like Teslas are just all crashing into each other. Like they can't. There's nobody in town. Like essentially, it's like okay, like it's leading up to like there's some type of like apocalypse going on, and they do know that it has something to do with like a cyber attack on the U.S. Kind of like they eventually get to that point, but then they still like don't know what's going on. And Ethan Hawke's family, like, once they get to that point, because there was, like, this noise, I don't fucking know. And so they're like, fuck it, we're going to leave. And they try to leave. They're like, we're going to go to my sister's in New Jersey. But to get to New Jersey, you got to drive through the city. You got to drive
through the city, and the city gets crazy during blackouts.
And they can't even get on the highway because there's just Teslas piled up everywhere. Because, like, in the hack, they hacked all the Teslas, and they're just like...
Right.
And so then they turn around and go back to the house. And they're like, yeah, we're back. And then, like, they talk a little bit more. But they never tell you what's going on. And I'm pretty sure the part in the movie that I was about to be at, what was going to happen was Ethan Hawke was going to start hooking up with the guy's daughter. She was, I think, older. Like, she was...
Yeah.
But,
she was at least... Never mind.
I don't know. But, and then... The Ethan Hawke's wife was maybe going to start hooking up with the dad. Like, the scene that I kind of was like, I'm fucking over this movie. Ethan Hawke was sitting outside late at night under a little canopy by, like, a fire pit. And the daughter came out and was like, do you vape? And handed him, like, a weed pen. And then they were sitting there hitting the weed pen, like, chatting. And the daughter was like, oh, you're a professor? Like, you ever hook up with one of your students? Like, and then it cuts back to... his wife and the dad of that owns the house, and they're in the house like drinking wine, like talking, and I was like, and they don't tell me what happened. I want to know, because here's the thing. I understand it's like a drama movie, and that's the point. It's supposed to be like suspenseful.
Right.
But in my ideal scenario there, like, it's a little of, what's that movie called? Red Dawn action, where they're like, okay, the world's ending, we have to save it kind of thing, and like then they take action. I don't think that's what was going to happen. I think the world was just going to end, and like they were going to either murder each other for like being not faithful, or and the other part of the story is the guy's wife, the guy that owns the house, his wife was supposed to be traveling back from business, but planes were just
falling out of the sky.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were like, the daughter was like, "Do you think mom's dead?" Essentially, and he's like, "No, her plane, no." But like literally, this guy was standing on the beach just watching. Like he had to run away from a plane.
Yeah, that's a
him.
part.
And there's just bodies. Like there's just planes.
Jesus.
Because there's a ship. The ship.
That's the part they showed.
The ship. Yeah.
Now.
I don't think it might have ended awesome.
Right, but again, you have no idea because you have not watched the end of the movie.
Phases, so it was phase one. Like it was like phase one.
You have
vacation.
like a card come up and it
phase
says
2,
that. Okay.
Something. Phase 3, the noise. Phase 4,
cool.
Whatever. And I'm like, dude, like you could add 100 more phases if people don't start like shooting, stabbing, and figuring out what the hell's going on here. I don't care.
If there is not either a den, or B, some thieves showing up in this movie soon, I'm out. You're now okay,
but not done at these two.
No, the first den of thieves. You're again. So this movie, what's it called again? Leave the World Behind.
Yeah,
you did not finish it.
No,
these. Now let me say, I love them. I want to say this. I love them, but these movie reviews that you come here and you do these movie reviews.
Yeah,
you've done things like that before. But these movie reviews, you come in and it's as if you're as an audience member, I'm speaking for myself, it's as if you're like hearing about a movie from a guy who like listened to it through the wall of an apartment building. And you're like, that's how he got what happened in the movie, and now he's telling you everything that he could hear through the drywall.
Here's what I'll say.
The noise part might have just been like a rat.
No, it was called the noise, and it was like this screeching, like that. Sorry, folks. Emily, maybe throw like a note. Somebody's gonna be driving their car, but it's like a noise. Like, and that's your thing. There's no fucking explanation behind the noise. Everybody. Like, because the kids are playing in the forest. The kids are playing in the forest. The dad was trying to go to like the rural like market that was like a couple miles away to see if there was a newspaper or people there he could talk to about what's going on and why their phone's not working. And like the wife, the guy that owns the house, and that daughter, they're in the house, and all of a sudden all of them just unanimously get hit with this noise that like cripples them to their knees, like this screeching noise, and they're like. But they never explain that, like, well, again, maybe they do. All right, let's do Who Would Win of the Week so we can get
that could be a number of things. All right.
That's when but it was like a prolonged period of the noise. Like, what, and they just never say what the noise was. It was just the noise. And then it's chapter 4 or whatever the fuck it is. All right, that was my rant. All right. You ready?
I think so.
I'm going to need names. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll
tee it up first. Let me Google them.
Okay, thank you. The Who Would Win of the Week this week is the Mythbusters versus the Ghostbusters. I don't know who's winning, but somebody's getting busted. This is probably the most busting of any Who Would Win battle that we've had, aside from maybe Cardi B versus Miss Piggy, if you know what I'm saying. But the point is, somebody's busting myths, somebody's busting ghosts. Now, it's interesting because you would think that the ghosts would be the less tangible thing to bust. But I think if we look at this... The Mythbusters are busting. I mean, what is a myth even? It's just an idea, a concept. Makes their job a little bit harder, I think.
So, it's a little bit confusing because there's been some cast overhaul since then.
But we know who the Mythbusters are.
Adam Savage is.
Adam Savage. That's him.
No, Adam Savage is the guy with the black. Yes, he's the guy with hair. Jamie is the bald guy that wears the
hat.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
The
beret?
Yeah, Sagadilla.
The
As Hub would call it.
That's not a Sagadilla.
And then, I don't know which woman is which. Because there was two women. Carrie Byron. Carrie. She was the host from 2003, or she was on it from 2003 to 2016. So we got Carrie. So we got Adam, Jamie, Carrie, and then Grant, who is the Asian guy. Yeah. Would not have gone with Grant if I had to
name him.
Guess his name.
What would you have gone with, Matthew? What would you have
I
gone
wouldn't
with?
have assumed Grant because his last name.
Yeah, what would you have assumed it was, Matthew?
Imahara is his last name.
Mm-hmm. And what would you assume his first name?
Grant is a very westernized. Are we Western? Is that? Mm-hmm. It's a very westernized name. Depends on where you
start, I guess.
I'm just saying, like,
you're racist. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying I'm not saying he. I'm gonna get myself to a slippery slope here. All right. This is going to make it sound worse, but it's supposed to sound better.
Stop. Let's talk about something else.
No.
This woman, I feel
You're
like
not gonna give me a chance to explain?
Do you want me to? Think about if you really want me to. Think about if you really want me to give you the opportunity to keep talking. Yeah, I didn't think so.
But I will say that came off a lot worse than it was supposed to be scenario. Because of the last name.
Yeah. People have last name. People.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very westernized
so
name.
Funny.
Why is it funny?
It just is, Matthew.
I know. Yeah.
Here's Carrie Byron. I feel like every.
Probably put that on the do not clip list for this.
I feel like every woman who was kind of like a host of a show, like they all looked like her. They all had her.
Yeah, the next. That's what I was saying. Jessie Combs then was like 2009, 2010. She looks. I can't really tell, but she looks
different though.
To me, pretty similar.
Oh, okay.
So we got Adam, Jamie, Carrie, and Grant. We're ruling out Tori.
Guy.
We're ruling out Tori.
That's his name?
Yes.
I wouldn't guess Tori would be his first name.
Why?
Because he's clearly Polish, so I would assume his first name would be something like. Oh Christ!
His last name is.
Let's definitely skip Belisi. Yeah, I would have guessed like Geronimo or something. Because of the last name.
You're blowing this out of proportion.
Because of the last name.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
So versus the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Can you name the Ghostbusters for me? I can also.
Yeah. Peter Venkman. Venkman, which I think is Bill Murray's character.
I'm looking.
And Egon, of course. Harold Ramis. And then you have Ernie. Wait, no. Because Winston, who is played by Ernie Hudson. And then you have Egon Spangler. So what the fuck is it? Venkman?
I'm getting there. You got Peter Venkman, that's Bill Murray.
Yeah.
You got Raymond Stantz, that's Dan Aykroyd.
That's one I couldn't remember.
You got
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis is Dr.
Egon Spangler. You have Ernie Hudson, who is Winston something.
Winston Zedmore.
Nice.
Dude, Ernie Hudson's looking jacked.
He is. He keeps his shit together.
I gotta not let that affect me because he was kind of skinny in the movie.
They were all pretty skinny. They all had that weird 80s body where they weren't their bodies just kind of were.
Can I say a couple things?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go down the line. Grant is a killer. Grant is really Mythbusters' only hope in this fight, I believe.
Keep going. Go ahead. Keep going.
Jamie, people think he's a killer.
Yeah.
I personally think he's one of those guys who was JROTC, you know what I mean? Thought he was.
I do know what you mean.
But he never actually had to do anything.
No, that's not Jamie at all. Let me tell you who Jamie is. And
how are you going to tell me?
Because I remember the show.
This is my perception.
This is your perception. I'm telling you the reality.
Okay. All right.
You know, in the movie, you've seen the feature film Ratatouille, I assume?
With the rat.
With the rat. Yeah. You know, there's that part. Maybe you don't remember this, but there's a part where the guy goes, "I killed the man with this thumb."
Yes.
That's Jamie.
Yeah. But he never actually done it.
Yeah,
That's a classic.
Jamie did it. He did done it.
No.
He did done it.
Jamie done it. I have a totally different perception of Jamie.
Okay, I'm telling it like it is.
No, you're giving me your perception of Jamie.
All right, fair enough.
I think that Jamie is an absolute non-factor in this fight. Like, I really do. Because for multiple reasons. One, I think he is hardened, like a guy who spends a lot of time working with his hands and stuff like that, but he, in actuality, is big into cargo shorts with a tucked-in T-shirt and a fanny pack.
Okay, and that's a problem?
No, but that's a number one sign to me that, like...
You can't fight? Can't
not,
throw hands?
From what I know, he's not ex-special forces of any sorts.
Yeah, he just has that hat. He just bought that hat.
Yeah, like, but that's what I mean. So that's his look. Like, again... what was the woman's name? Carrie?
Yeah.
Carrie, I don't know yet. My problem with Carrie is she, again, because she has red hair, she looks like Black Widow.
Okay.
So, like, that's throwing me off a little bit. But I don't think, like, to me, I think Carrie puts up a better fight than Jamie.
I think it's a totally different thing. I mean, if again, you know, we've got these two groups of 4, so I think there are like 1-to-1 matchups we can pull.
I'm not done with my breakdown of the Mythbusters, and then we go to Adam. Adam for sure would get his ass kicked.
Yeah, I can see.
I don't think Adam's very tough.
That's interesting because I do feel like Adam is kind of the leader of this squad.
Well, okay, so this is perfect. This brings me back to Jamie because, yes, Adam is 100% the leader, and everybody knows it except for Jamie because Jamie thinks, like,
no,
these people are dumb for not following.
No, you got it wrong, dude. Jamie doesn't want that. Jamie doesn't want that heat. He's like, fine, let Adam do all this stuff. But you can see that. You can see that today because Adam is still, like, very proactive and creating crazy content and stuff. Jamie's out. Yeah, can you tell me where Jamie is? He's retired. He doesn't need that life anymore. In
Jamie's mind, he's like,
he said what he had to say.
They should have never gone the way of TikTok. Like a real man does stuff with his hands.
I completely disagree. Well, mostly disagree. But if we're looking at this matchup again, let's talk about the Ghostbusters. Let me talk about the Ghostbusters a little bit now that you've done your Mythbusters.
No,
go ahead. Keep going.
I don't want to take all the thunder.
I don't care.
Because I was going to get into the Ghostbusters, not person by person, but here's my thing is the Mythbusters have attempted to bust a lot of myths. Some they bust, some they don't.
Yeah.
I think that the knowledge of ghosts would fuck the Mythbusters' brains up.
What?
Yes.
No.
They'd be like,
I've never seen a group of people more prepared to like see evidence of ghosts.
See, I think
even more the Ghostbusters. To be honest with you,
because they're like,
what the hell?
Science is telling me that this myth should be busted, and yet there's ectoplasma on me.
Yeah.
And I don't think they would deal with that well mentally.
I disagree. I think they'd be totally ready.
I think Glasses would have a mental break. He would fucking lose it. Jamie would be like, I'm not afraid of ghosts, and then he'd get ectoplasma thrown up on him or whatever it's called. He'd get gooed, like in
slimed. They call it slimed.
Like, in Ghostbusters they call it slimed. I was thinking like in Amityville or
I don't know.
The haunted house one.
I don't know.
It's a haunted house.
I've never seen it.
The movie. We watched it together.
I didn't
not
watch
long
it.
ago.
Oh, Poltergeist.
When they come out of the wormhole type thing and they're all gooey.
They got that ectoplasm.
They got placenta on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ectoplasm.
He would not like that.
I think he would love it. Dude, I think he'd be like, wow, this
I have
is
a totally different perception of that
we
guy.
We really do have completely different perceptions on like who these Mythbusters are.
Grant is a killer.
We don't need to worry about Grant. Grant's going to hold his own just
fine.
Tee
us up on the Ghostbusters.
Okay, the Ghostbusters. So Bill Murray, kind of the de facto leader because he's confident, but he's not necessarily the brightest guy. Egon, he's the brightest guy, but he's weird and he's so focused on science. I think he and Jamie, that's the matchup there. You probably have, Carrie. Carrie is interesting because I feel like Carrie, she's very smart, and the Ghostbusters are the kind of guys who would fall prey to her womanly wiles.
Yes, they're fascinated by a smart woman.
And if she showed them even like the slightest hint of affection, they'd be crossing the beams on themselves. You know what I mean? The thing about the Ghostbusters is they aren't afraid of no ghosts. But the other thing about them is that they are easy to trick.
Yes.
Like they do create the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like they think of the, and it's weird because the Ghostbusters, like they do seem to, they face danger, they run towards danger, and they do have these very complex, obviously the proton packs. They put them together, but also that's like I don't think they all work on those. Like that's to me that seems more like an Egon Ray thing, and then Bill Murray character and Ernie Hudson's character just like this is great, this is cool how this works. The Mythbusters, every one of them does tackle some kind of engineering feat. So they've got working with their hands. They've got the work ethic. I think they might beat the Ghostbusters. I honestly,
my closing
I think they do
point
beat the Ghostbusters.
To your argument is that the Ghostbusters do get easily tricked in the movie by the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the supernatural. I just have this. Here's my problem, dude. The Mythbusters, and I liked Mythbusters, but I mean those guys are just. I don't see. I see Grant being their only hope, and I don't think Grant can 4-on-1 the Ghostbusters. I do agree with your point about Carrie, but like Adam and Jamie, like they're just non-factors.
I just think that's an insane thing to say.
Well, that's where our disagreement lies. That's why I'm taking the Ghostbusters,
and I'm gonna have to take the Mythbusters.
Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Who would win of the week? Ghostbusters versus Mythbusters. I don't necessarily agree. I think if you included Tori in the mix, totally different game.
Well, Tori in the mix, then I'm definitely going Ghostbusters.
Because he looks like what's the lead singer from?
He looks like an Uncle Cracker type. Nah, he doesn't look quite like. Well, I can see it because I'm used to picturing Chad Kroeger with like the long hair.
Yeah, he's got some serious Chad.
Definitely
Kroeger
like a band from that era.
Yeah, he's got some serious Chad Kroeger. Yep.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Are we certain that's not?
I've never seen him in the same place.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
I bet you there
is
an episode of Mythbusters with Nickelback on it.
Yeah,
that's
for
just
sure.
Perfect era type of. Talk about a crossover.
What channel was Mythbusters on?
Discovery or History, one of the two.
Well, it was one of them. I think it was Discovery because History is Pawn Stars and American Restoration and like more of those shows. American Restoration, do you remember that show?
I never watched it.
It was so good. I think it was technically a Pawn Stars spinoff because I know it did take place in Las Vegas, and I think they had that guy come in.
History ended up doing a bunch of shows that were like spinoffs from Pawn Stars of the I Know a Guys.
Oh yeah, there was like a car one. There was a big car one that was cool. I watched a couple episodes of that.
Yeah.
But American Restoration, that show ruled because they would take like anything, any piece of shit.
Old Coke stuff. Old Coke stuff.
That's the stuff, which is obviously like just the 1950s Coke dispensers and things.
And they would find like the exact like powder paint to like repaint. Yeah, they would sandblast.
Tough gig, dude.
I need a sandblaster.
You do.
That
you need something.
Cool.
It sounds like you need to get your hands on that kind of material.
Andy, I love you.
I love you too. Thanks for sticking with me.
Yeah. I hope you feel better.
I think I will. After a good night's something. All right, let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.